वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। This is the first Dhyana Shloka, and we have seen the meaning of this Dhyana Shloka in the previous class. This Shloka, through this Shloka, we offer Namaskara. We offer Namaskara to Gita. Bhagavad Gita is looked upon as the mother. So, to the Gita Mata, this Namaskara is offered. Then, today we will see the next Dhyana Shloka. And if you remember, I have told there are 9 Dhyana Shlokas, meditation verses, which were written by Madhusudana Saraswati, and those Dhyana Shlokas are considered to be the Dhyana Shloka for the Gita. So we have seen the first Dhyana Shloka, now the second Dhyana Shloka. So the second Dhyana Shloka, we offer Namaskara to the Gita Granthakaraha, that is Vyasacharya. To Vyasa, we offer Namaskara. So Vyasa Namaskara is done through the second Dhyana Shloka, which we can chant. You can repeat after me. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
नमोस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे
Pullarvindaya Tapatra
पुल्लारविन्दाय
पुल्लारविन्द्राय
तपत्रनेत्र
तपत्रनेत्र
Yena Tvaya Bharata Tailapurnaha
येन
येन
त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः
तः
Prajvalito Jnanamayah Pradipaha
प्रज्वालितो
ज्वालितो
ज्ञानमयः
ज्ञानमयः
दीपः
दीपः
So Namaha. Namaha is Namaskara. Namaha Te. Vyasa. The word Vyasa is, from that we know this Namaskara is to Vyasacharya. Vyasacharya, who is the author of the Mahabharatam. Hey Vyasa, Namaha, Te Namaha. Hey Vyasa, Te Namaha, to you, Namaskara. Namaskara to you, salutations to you. Namaskaraha Te. And Vyasa is Vishala Buddhe. Vishala Buddhe. That is also Sambodhana, addressing. Hey Vyasa. Vyasa is like Rama Shabda. Hey Rama, Hey Ramo, Hey Ramaha. Hey Vyasa, Hey Vyaso, Hey Vyasaha. Hey Vyasa. And Hey Vishala Buddhe. Vishala Buddhihi Yasya Saha. The one who has the Buddhi, the wisdom, knowledge. Knowledge is Vishala. It is vast. He has got in-depth knowledge. Vyasacharya. Vyasacharya. That is why Vyasacharya, he has got the total knowledge. That is why he is considered to be the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. And Vyasacharya, he has written many granthas, all the 18 Puranas, and the Brahma Sutra, the important work. Brahma Sutra is the important work to establish the teaching of the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. That also was written by Vyasacharya. So Vyasacharya had given the Puranas, Brahma Sutra, and it is Vyasacharya who compiled the Vedas. The Vedas which were scattered, he compiled them and transferred to the next generation. And Vyasacharya, that is why Vyasacharya is an important link in the tradition. Vyasacharya is an important connection. The tradition is an important connection. Without Vyasacharya, we would have lost many granthas, many texts we would have lost. Therefore, it's an important link, important acharya in the tradition. So, to that Vyasacharya, and his knowledge is vast. He's got in-depth knowledge of the Shastram, and therefore Vishala Buddhi. Buddhi meaning intellect. Vishala is vast and depth. So his knowledge is vast and also in depth. And Mahabharata written by Vyasacharya. The huge Grantha Mahabharatam, which has got 1 lakh shlokas, written by Vyasacharya. And Mahabharata is such a great thing. That is why it is considered to be the 5th Veda, Panchamo Vedaha, Mahabharatam. And what is said in Mahabharata, you will not find it anywhere. And whatever is there, whatever is said in Mahabharata, that you will not find it anywhere. It means Mahabharata covers all the topics. There is no topic which is not there in Mahabharata. Dharme charte cha kame cha mokshe cha bharatarshava. Yadigasi tadanyatra ennehasi na tat kvachit. Yat iha asti tad anyatra asti. Whatever is here, it could be there somewhere else. It could be there somewhere else. Whatever is yat iha asti tat anyatra. Yat iha asti tat anyatra. Yat anyatra asti. Yat na iha asti tat na tat kvachit. What is not been told here in this Mahabharatam, it is not found anywhere. It means everything is told in Mahabharatam. It's a huge grantha. It's a huge grantha, and that shows the wisdom of Vyasacharya. Therefore, Vishala Buddhi, the Buddhi of Vyasacharya is Vishala. Therefore, He Vishala Buddhi, He Vyasa, He Vishala Buddhi, Tubhyam Namaha, Te Namaha, to you my namaskara, to you my namaskara. And Pulla Aravindaya Tapatra Netra. Pulla Aravinda Ayata Patra Netra. Pulla Aravindaya Tapatra Netra. Pulla Aravinda. Aravinda means lotus. Aravinda is lotus. Pulla Aravinda. The lotus which is bloomed, blossomed lotus. So, Vyasacharya has got the netra, netra meaning eyes. The eyes which looks like the ayata patra. Patra means leaf, petals. Ayata patra. Ayata is ayata, which is broad, wide. So like the petals of a fully bloomed lotus. Like the petals of the fully bloomed lotus, the eyes of Vyasacharya is like that. The eyes of Vyasacharya is like the petals of the fully blossomed lotus. Pulla Aravinda Ayata Patra Netra. Aravinda lotus. Pulla completely bloomed. Ayata Patra, the long petal, the white petal of the lotus. Netra is eye. So the one who has the white petal of the lotus, that is also Sambodhana. He Pullar Vindaya Tapatra Netra. It's a beautiful Sambodhana. Adjective to Vyasacharya. So, He Vyasacharya, He Vyasa, He Vishala Buddhi, He Pullar Vindaya Tapatra Netra, He to you, Namaha, I Namaskara. Here, that why Netra? Here, not just physical Netra. Netra stands for the knowledge, the vision of Vyasacharya. Vyasacharya has a whole vision of the Shastram. That's why he could be able to do all these great works. So, the I stands for the vision, the knowledge. So, the one who has such knowledge, to you, my namaskara. So, offering namaskara to Vyasacharya. Yena tvaya bharata taila purnaha prajvalito jnanamayah pradipaha. Prajvalito jnanamayah pradipaha. Jnanamayah pradipaha. Jnanamayah pradipaha prajvalitaha. Prajvalitaha. You have lighted up. Jnanamayah pradipa. Pradipa means lamp. Jnanamaya, a huge lamp of knowledge. Jnanamayah pradipaha. A huge lamp of knowledge. Pradipaha. Pradipaha means a lamp, bright lamp. Lighted by you. Prajvalitaha. You lighted up a huge lamp of knowledge. Prajvalitaha jnanamayah pradipaha. By you. Tvaya. By you. By you, the huge lamp of knowledge is lighted up. Katam. A lamp requires oil. What is the oil for that? The oil is Bharata Taila Purnaha. Mahabharata is a Taila. Taila means oil. With the oil of Mahabharata, Mahabharata Taila Purnaha. The lamp is filled up. Purnaha, filled up with the oil of Mahabharata. Filled up with the oil of Mahabharata, you have lighted up the huge lamp of knowledge. So, the lamp of knowledge, the Vedic wisdom, which is lighted up by you with the oil of Mahabharata. Why? Because Gita is located in Mahabharata. Gita as the knowledge, Gita as the vision of the Shruti Shastram. So, therefore, by you, the knowledge is lighted up with the oil of Mahabharata. To you, my namaskara. Hey Vyasacharya, a Vishala Buddhi, the one who has total knowledge, has got total knowledge, is Sarvajnaha. That is why he is considered to be an avatar of Vishnu. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya, Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave iti. Namo vai Brahma Nidage, Brahma Nidhi. Nidhi is treasure. Brahma is Veda, is the treasure house of the knowledge of the Vedas. So, to you, I offer my namaskara. That is why we say, since he is a treasure house of knowledge and Mahabharata written by him, so what is written in Mahabharata can be found at some place, but what is not present in Mahabharata, you will not find it anywhere. Mahabharata covers all the topics. All the knowledges are present in Mahabharata, both Paravidya as well as Aparavidya. In the words of Mundaka Upanishad, we can say it is covers both Para and Aparavidya. That is why Mahabharata is considered to be the fifth Veda. And who wrote? Vyasacharya. To you, my namaskara. Iti, the second Dhyana Shloka is an offering of namaskara to Vyasacharya. How beautifully it is done, you see. The first one is namaskara to Gita. And Gita written by Vyasacharya. So Vyasacharya namaskara. Then after Vyasacharya, next shloka, through next shloka, we will offer namaskara to the teacher of Gita. The teacher is Bhagavan Krishna. The student is Arjuna. So the next shloka is a namaskara shloka to Bhagavan Krishna. We will chant. You can repeat after me. Prapanna parijataya Totra vetraikapanaye Mudraya Krishnaya
Jnanamudraya Krishnaya
Gita Mrtaduhe Namaha.
Gita
Namaha. Namaha is namaskaraha, salutations. Namaha. To whom you offer namaskara, you can see all the words, other words in this shloka are in Chaturthi Vibhakti. Namaskara. When namaskara is offered, you will find the words in Chaturthi Vibhakti. Prapanna parijataya namaha. Totra vetraika panaye namaha. Jnana mudraya namaha. Krishnaya namaha. Gita Mrtaduhe namaha. Like in the Namavali. If you see Namavali, Vishnu Sahasranamam or any Lalita Sahasranamam, any Sahasranamam, the Namavali, Namaha, Namaha, it will end. Namaha will govern the word in Chaturthi Bhakti. Ramaya Namaha, Krishnaya Namaha, Gurave Namaha, Acharyaya Namaha, Ishwaraya Namaha. So when Namaha is there, Chaturthi Bhakti you will find. The same thing in the previous shloka also. So now here, Namaha, Krishnaya Namaha. Namaskara to Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna. Namaskara to Bhagavan Krishna. And Prapanna Parijataya. Bhagavan Krishna is compared to the Parijata Vriksha. Parijata is a Vriksha. Where is this Vriksha? This Vriksha is in the Svargaloka. In the other loka, this vriksha is there. It is a wish fulfilling tree. Wish fulfilling tree, like Kalpa Vriksha, Parijata Vriksha. Whatever you ask, whatever you ask, standing below the Vriksha will give you whatever you wish. Whatever you wish and meditate, that will be granted. And Bhagavan Krishna is a wish fulfilling tree. When you surrender to him, he will offer whatever you ask for. So he is a giver of everything. Prapanna Parijataya. He is the Prapanna. Prapanna is surrendered. He is a Parijata for the people who surrender to him. Prapanna. Prapanna is surrendering, surrender. So for those who surrender to Prapanna, who surrender, the people who surrender, for them he is a Parijata. He is the Parijata Vriksha. He is like the wish fulfilling tree. So Tasmai Namaha, Prapanna Parijataya, Krishnaya Namaha, Namaskara to him. And Totra Vetra Ekapanaye. Pani means hand. Ekapani is one hand. Ekapanaye. Ekapanaye in one hand. Totra Vetra. Totra Vetra Ekapanaye. Vetra means handle. Totra is whip. You will see Krishna sitting in the chariot, holding the reins of the horses and having the whip, having the handle, holding the handle of the whip and managing the horses. And Arjuna is sitting behind. Krishna is a Sarathi. So, holding the handle, having the handle, Vetra, of the Totra, the whip, in one hand. Bhagavan is the Sarathi. Bhagavan, he is a Sarathi for Arjuna. He drives a chariot. And to that driver of the chariot, the one who holds a whip in his hand, to him I offer my namaskara. Totra Vetra Eka Panaye. Totra Vetra Eka Panaye. And Jnana Mudraya. Jnana Mudra. Mudra is gesture. Hand gesture. The gesture which is done through the hand. So, if you want to call a person, there is a gesture. If you want to ask a person to go, there is another gesture you can do through hand. But there is a gesture for knowledge. And that is the Jnana Mudra. Jnana Mudraya. Chin Mudra. Jnana Mudra is Chin Mudra. Jnana Mudraya. Chin Mudra is the symbolic representation of the vision of the Shastra. Chin Mudra is symbolic representation. In the Chin Mudra, how you keep the fingers is the index finger. The index finger should be away from the three fingers. The index finger should be away from the three fingers. And the index finger is touched with the thumb. The index finger, which represents the Jivatma, the individual. The index finger is called the Tarjani. In Sanskritam, it is called Tarjani. That is the finger which is used for warning, for threatening someone. That is the finger. So that finger stands for Jivatma. And the thumb stands for Paramatma. So, moving away the index finger and joining with the thumb, which is Paramatma. Jivatma is separated from the three fingers. The three fingers stands for three gunas or three shariram. And the Jivatma is connected or joined with Paramatma. So, in general position, if you just hold the palm, you will see that index finger is away from the thumb. Thumb is always separate. Thumb stands for Paramatma. So, and the Jivatma is connected with the other three fingers. That is the index finger is connected with the other three fingers. The index finger stands for Jivatma, connected with the other three things. There are three fingers. The three fingers stands for three Shariram, Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karna Shariram. The Jivatma is strongly bound by this Shariram, therefore it is away from the Paramatma index finger. Now, Jivatma, which is away from Paramatma, that indicates the distance. That it means samsara. Jivatma is in samsara. Now, how to remove the samsara? Bring the index finger Jivatma and unite and join with the thumb Paramatma. So, if you join, then you will get a round. The round stands for infinite. Purnatvam, completeness. The circle is complete. And the three are separated. The three, that is, stands for the three Shariram, separated from the three Shariram. The Jivatma is now joined with Paramatma. That is the Chinmudra. That is symbolizing the knowledge of the oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma. Even though Jivatma can be joined with all the three Shariram, with the three Shariram or without the three Sharirams. Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram, about which we discussed in Tattvabodha, and we are going to discuss it later also. So, united with this three Shariram, a Jiva becomes a Jivatma. Separated from this, not physically, even though it enjoys three Shariram, at the same time, the Jiva has to recognize the oneness with Paramatma. That is by knowledge. That is what is indicated by the Chinmudra, which is Jnana Mudra. And who has this Jnana Mudra? Who shows this Jnana Mudra? Bhagavan Krishna. And Lord Dakshinamurti also. You will see this Chinmudra in his hand. He will show this Chinmudra, symbolizing knowledge, the vision of the oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma. So therefore, Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya. Jnana Mudraya, that is Krishna, who exhibits the gesture, this Chinmudra, which symbolizes knowledge. So Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya. Then Gita Amrita Duhe Namaha. Gita Amrita Duhe Namaha. Gita is the Amrita. Amrita is the ambrosial drink, drinking which a person becomes immortal. Gita is really the ambrosial drink, ambrosial nectar. Amrita, it is compared to nectar. Drinking that, you becomes immortal. Not physically. Not physically you will become immortal. You understand that you are immortal. You cannot be destroyed. Shariram comes and goes, but as Atma you continue to exist. There is no destruction of you. That is the Amritatvam. That is the immortality. That understanding the true nature of oneself. True nature being not separate from Paramatma. Not separate from Paramatma. Jivatma Aham, Paramatma Eva. Jiva Brahma. There is no difference. There is no difference between Jiva and Brahma. That is Ishvara. Aham Brahma Asmi. Jagat Karanam Brahma. The cause of this Jagat, the Srishti, which is Brahma, is myself. That is a vision of the Shastra. That is understanding. That understanding only gives the immortality. When you understand yourself to be that, then you are free from all kinds of fear. You are free from all kinds of limitations. You become free. That is moksha. That is moksha. Moksha is understanding the real swarupam, the nature of myself. That is moksha. And that is possible only by knowledge. And knowledge is given by Gita. So Gita knowledge, which is the Amrita, which removes the samsara, and therefore this knowledge is milked by whom? This knowledge milked by whom? To him I offer my namaskara. Gita Amrita Dughe. Dughe means the one who milks, the milker. Amrita Dughe. Gita Amrita Dughe Namaha. So Gita Amrita Dughe, the one who has milked the nectarine, the ambrosial, the Amritam, Gita, out of what? Out of this, the Gita out of this Gita Upanishad, out of this Gita Upanishad, that is the wisdom of immortality, which is milked by whom? To him I offer my namaskara. And the Amritatvam is knowledge. Jnanena eva Amritatvam iti. And the Jnanam is Tattvamasi Mahavakyam. That Tattvamasi Mahavakyam is symbolically represented by the mudra, which is the Jnana mudra, otherwise called Chin mudra. And this knowledge is the Amrita, which is milked by whom? To him I offer my namaskara. Who milked? That is Krishna. How? In the form of teaching to Arjuna. Where? In Mahabharata. Therefore, to him I offer my namaskara. So, Prapanna Parijataya, Bhagavan Krishna, who is the wish-fulfilling tree for those who surrendered, Totra Vetraika Panaye, having hold, grasping the Totra, the handle of the whip in one hand, who drives the chariot. The chariot has got 4 horses. Who runs the chariot, and who symbolizes, who expresses the knowledge through the Chin mudra. Krishnaya, to that Krishna, Gita Mritadughe, the one who milks the nectar of the Gita. The nectar of Gita is, the nectar means the teaching. The teaching of the Gita is same as the teaching of the Upanishad. Therefore, the one who milked the Gita out of the Upanishad. The Upanishad is the cow, and the milk is the Gita. From the Upanishadic cow, Bhagavan Krishna has milked the nectar in Gita. To him, I offer my namaskara. The third Dhyana Shloka, we offer namaskara to Bhagavan Krishna. Then the next shloka also is a namaskara to Bhagavan the Krishna, and also the next shloka we will see where the Gita is also praised, the teaching of the Gita, as well as when the teaching is praised, the teacher also is praised. When the teacher is praised, the teaching is also praised, because the teacher and the teaching are not separate. And here the Bhagavan Krishna, who has milked the Gita out of the Upanishadic cow, that Gita is praised. The nature of the Gita and the giver of the Gita, both are praised in the next shloka. We will read and repeat. Sarvopanishado gavaha
Sarvopanishado gavaha
Dugdha Gopalanandanaha
Gopalanandanaha
Partho Vatsas Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Mritam Mahat Dugdham Gita Amritam Mahat. Here you can see an imagery. The imagery, it is connected from the previous shloka. The previous shloka we saw Upanishadic from the Upanishadic cows. From the Upanishadic cows, Bhagavan Krishna milked the Gita. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Now we can hear.
Okay. So I was telling that from the previous mantra, we saw from the Upanishadic cow, Bhagavan Krishna milked the Gita nectar. The same idea is conveyed here. And here you can see the imagery. The imagery is Sarvopanishado Gavaha. Gavaha means cows. All the cows. Gavaha, Gauhu, Gavaha, Bhagavachanam. The cows. Sarva Upanishadaha. All the Upanishads. All the Upanishads are cows. All the Upanishads are the cows. Sarva Upanishadaha, Sarvopanishadaha, Gavaha. All the Upanishads are compared to the cows. The cow being there, then who is a milkman? The cow has to be milked. Without milking, you will not get without milking the cow, you cannot get the milk. So you need the milkman. Who is the milkman? Gopala Nandanaha. He is the Dogdha. He is it Dogdha, the milker. Dogdha. Dogdha is like it is like the Dogdra Shabda, like a Kartra Shabda. Dogda is like Kartra Shabda, Karta, Kartaro, Kartaraha, Dogda, Dogdaro, Dogdaraha. Those who are in the beginning of the Sanskritam class, they can mark this. Dogda, like the Kartra Shabda. Dogda, the milker, denoting the person, the agent of action. Karanta, agent based on this, we saw. Dogdra Shabda. So Dogda, the milker. The milker Dogda, who is that? Gopala Nandanaha. Gopala Nandanaha. Gopala Nandana is Bhagavan Krishna. Gopala means the cowherds are called Gopala. Gam Palayati. The one who manages or rears the cows, they are called Gopala. Nandana is Santosha, happiness. The one who is the cause of happiness for the Gopalas, for the cowherds. The one who brings joy to the cowherds. Kaha Saha Kaha Krishnaha. So Krishna is the Dogda, is the milker. And the cows are the Upanishads. Upanishads are compared to cows, and the milkman is Bhagavan Krishna. Then Partho Vatsaha. Partha is Arjuna. Partha is Arjuna. Is compared to the calf. Is compared to the calf. Calf is a baby. Arjuna is also a baby. From this standpoint of wisdom, Arjuna is still a baby. Spiritually is baby. Spiritual baby. Yet to grow. Yet to drink the milk of the Upanishad to become a matured person, to become a jnani. And Krishna is a milkman. He is going to allow Arjuna, the Arjuna to drink milk from the Upanishadic cow. How? By teaching. Only by teaching. By teaching only, knowledge can be gained, knowledge can be transferred. Therefore, between the Upanishad and the Arjuna, the connector is Krishna, and the connection is in the form of teaching. So therefore, Partha Vatsaha, Vatsa calf, and Partha Arjuna. Arjuna is compared to the calf. Sudhir Bhokta, and Vatsa, this Partha, who is a Vatsa, is a qualified person, he is an adhikari. He has got this sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. That is why Sudhir Bhokta. Sudhir Bhokta. Sudhir Bhokta. Sudhihi. Dhi means buddhi. Dhi means buddhi. Sudhi is sushta buddhi. Good buddhi. Sad buddhi. It means he has got the preparedness to understand the teaching. Therefore, the Arjuna, who is a calf and who is a Shishya, who has a preparedness to understand the knowledge. Therefore, Sudhihi, Bhokta is the Bhokta, is the enjoyer. He is going to be the enjoyer of the milk given by Krishna. The milk is the teaching. Gita is a milk, which is the wisdom, the teaching. So, and for that, Arjuna is a prepared person, a Yogya Purusha. Therefore, Sudhihi, Bhokta, Parthaha is Vatsaha. And Dugdam Gita Mritam Magat. Dugdam is that which is milked. That is the milk. Milk is called Dugdam. And that milk is what? Gita. Gita is a milk of the Upanishadic cows. And which is Amritam, which is the nectar, drinking which you become immortal. Knowing which you become immortal. Drinking is knowing. In our context, it is, since it is teaching, therefore drinking is knowing, understanding. Understanding, you become immortal. You become muktaha, you become free. So Dugdam is milk and Gita is Gita Amritam. Amritam Gita, the nectar of the Gita, that is the wisdom of the Gita, which is Magat, which is great. The great nectar of the Gita, which is compared to the milk, which is drunk by Arjuna, given by Krishna, milked from the Upanishadic cows. Iti, all the factors are praised here. The teaching, the teacher, and the Shishya also, the taught. All the three are praised, or the three are offered namaskara through this shloka. It's a beautiful shloka. Sarvopanishado Gavaha iti. And the imagery is a beautiful imagery. So with this fourth dhyana shloka, the namaskara to the teacher, the taught, and the teaching, we offer our namaskara. Then the next namaskara again to Bhagavan Krishna. We can chant Vasudeva Sutam Devam
Vasudevasutam Devam
Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam
Sachanuramardhanam
Devaki Paramanandam
Devaki Paramanandam
Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Krishnam Vande. Vande is I salute. Aham Krishnam Vande. I salute Krishna. The word Krishna is a beautiful word. Karshyati iti Krishnaha. The one who attracts is called Krishna. Krishna is the most attractive person. Why is attractive? Because Krishna is Paramatma. All the Jivatmas are attracted towards Paramatma. Not the physical attraction. Attraction in terms of knowing that they are not different. That is why attractive. Not different. That is why attraction. Attraction is because of not being different. Not being different. So Krishna, who is a Paramatma, one day I offer namaskara. I salute. And he is a Jagat Guru. He is the Jagat Guru, the Guru of the Jagat. Jagat is the Prapancha, this whole universe. The teaching is universal. And the giver of the teacher is Jagat Guru. Since the teaching is universal, it is not applicable. The teaching is not just only applicable to certain people. It is applicable to all the human beings, all the beings. Since the teaching is universal, therefore the teacher is called Jagat Guru. To that Jagat Guru, Krishnam Vande. And who is that? Further, Krishna is qualified. To Krishna I offer namaskara. And the word Krishna is qualified by the other words. Krishnan is in second case, Dvitiya Vibhakti. And all the other words are qualifiers to Krishna. Therefore, they are in Dvitiya Vibhakti, Ekavachanam. Because Krishnan is Ekavachanam. Vasudeva Sutam Devam. Vasudeva is father of Krishna, Vasudeva. Father of Krishna is Vasudeva. Vasudevasya apatyam puman Vasudeva. Understand the difference between these two. Vasudeva is father. Vasudeva is Krishna. Sometimes people, they use it wrongly. Vasudeva. Vasudeva for Lord Krishna. No. Vasudeva is father. And Krishna is Vasudeva. Son of Vasudeva. Vasudeva, that is Krishna. Suta means son. Vasudeva Sutam means son of Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sutam Devam. Devam is Bhagavan, God, Ishvara. Vasudeva Sutam Devam. Devam Krishnam, the Lord Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna. Devam Krishnam. Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam. You can understand Kamsa word is there. Kamsa is the Rakshasa, the Asura. The Asura, Kamsa. And Chanura. Chanura is another Asura. So Kamsa, Chanura, Mardhanam, the finisher, the destroyer. Mardhanam is finishing, killing. Killer of Kamsa and Chanura. Kamsa, Chanura, Mardhanam, Krishnam, Aham, Vande. I salute. Devaki Paramanandam. Paramanandam. Paramanandam means the greatest joy. Parama Anandam. Paramascha aso Anandaha Paramanandaha. Parama, the greatest Ananda. The greatest Ananda of Devaki. Devakyaha Paramananda. Nandaha. Kaha Krishnaha. The greatest joy of Devaki is the beloved of Devaki. So therefore, Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Aham Vande. Aham Krishnam Aham Jagadgurum Vasudeva Sutam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Devam Krishnam Vande. Vande is the Kriya Padam. Aham is the Karta. And all the other words are Dvitiya Vibhakti. Krishna is the karma, Dvitiya Vibhakti. All the other words are qualifying Krishna. Therefore, they are all in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Agam Krishnam Vande. I offer namaskara to Krishna, who is the son of Vasudeva and who is the destroyer of Kamsa and Chanura, and who is the greatest joy for Devaki. Iti. We offer namaskara to Krishna also. And we have another 4 more Dhyana Shlokas. We will see. We will cover those 4 Dhyana Shlokas in the next class. And then we will start the first chapter of the Gita. So, we stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Shanti Harihi Guruభ్యో నమః Harihi
धन्यवाद गुरुजी।
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद जी।